how's it everyone? My name is Joycey, you can call me J if you'd like, and it is late at night. I'm kind of tired, so you know what that means. It's time for an Ishbook tour. Now, this is a huge honking boy, and I'm not even completed with him, but this has, I think it was no, it can't be 300 pages, I'm pretty sure. And the thing was, the idea was a sketchbook slam where you draw, I think it was 30 pages each day for a month. But I chose to start this at like the worst time because the world was kind of burning. So I just kind of dropped that and decided to treat this as a normal Ishbook. So yeah, oh, it was 10 pages. Joyce, look at your darn thingy. It told you. Past you knew you would be a dummy and wrote it for you. Anyway, so I tried to do this a while ago, but it was at a pretty rough time for the world. Now, I'm not going to shy away from talking about these things. I'll try not to ramble too much about them, but they're important things that do need to be discussed. Feel free to discuss them respectfully with each other in the comments if you would like to. But if I see people disrespecting each other or threatening each other or otherwise being absolute jerks, I will turn off comments for this video. Anyway, I think I've said all I want to say for that, so let's get into the Ishbook, and I hope you enjoy. I have them marked out in roughly thirds so that I can do Ishbook tours somewhat efficiently. It's an attempt, so here we go. I started this early June, and the intent was to start each day of the challenge with how I was feeling. It didn't even last long, so I fell behind after I think the second or third day already, because I had a protest that I went to for Black Lives Matter, and it went well. Nothing went wrong, thankfully, even though there had been talk of people coming down from the mainland, coming down from the mainland with the intent to mess up our protest and turn it violent. So thankfully that didn't happen. So this was only 3 months ago, roughly, but I already hate the way my drawings look. It's so bad. Oh, time. Anyway, I use a bunch of Pinterest reference photos in this Ishbook, so if things look familiar, that's probably why. I probably got the pose from Pinterest or something, or the quotes from it. This quote is from Red vs. Blue, though. If you watch it, it's a show from Rooster Teeth. I can talk and remember things. I'm not gonna try, but it's from Rooster Teeth. It's called Red vs. Blue. It's a thing that exists. I tried to draw it with my left hand, but that didn't go well. There was this. This was an idea for a poster that I made for the protest I went to, and I actually did use that design. The posters I brought are actually still in the car, so I can't show them themselves, but that was an idea for one of them. See, I hate my little doodles early on. Oh my gosh, stop. These were two signs, quote signs. I just wrote the words, but there were two signs that I saw at the protest. I was just very tired of the world in general and done with everything in June. You know, it was 2020. It just, things kept happening, and we're in October now. It's Inktober, which I'm actually having a lot of fun with. Yeah, but I was already not doing well. This is a thing. There are lyrics from the song Tightrope by The Score. The Score, by the way, is an awesome artist, and they have great songs. Thank you to Wash for introducing me to them. Really appreciate it. I actually redo this later in the Ishbook, but you're not gonna get to see it today because it's in the second third of this thing. But yeah, I redid it because I'm not very happy with how this turned out. What is this? What are the things? Art is hard. This is supposed to be Tweak from South Park. Sometimes I accidentally call him Creek because that's his ship name with Craig. These are characters from Has Been Hotel. Well, Has Been Hotel and Imp, I think. No, Hell of a Boss. Hell of a Boss is what it was. That's, I have memory good. Going to just flip through a few wordlessly because this is a lot of pages. A few times I would take photographs that I took because when I go out with friends, I do my best to take as many pictures as possible for the memory's sake, and so I took a few and tried to sketch them. That's a picture of my cat back in Kalihi. These are two pictures. That one's just a screenshot I took from YouTube. I like to use dance poses as reference poses as well. And oh wait, I've mentioned that before in a past Ishbook. Stop being small brain. But this is my friend leaning on my legs at school. These are also photos. More the lyrics for a song by The Score. This one was Where Do You Run? Not gonna redo this one. Probably. I say that, but who knows. But yeah, already playing catch up. That was not based on a photo, just a memory that I had. I tried to remember what the view of the school was like from where we were, just past stuff, because I wanted to practice background, which is why I was using the photos and perspective and everything. This is another photo. This is actually Valley of the Temples. We went to visit my grandfather. More scribbles and doodles. This is my D&D character, Our, and her brother, or a version of her brother, a design thingy. I can't get into it without much character arc spoilers if we ever get to go and see them. More doodles. These definitely came from Pinterest. That's Dottie. A lot of the times when I draw Dottie in this Ishbook in particular, she's a silhouette. Yeah, just they're non-canon at the moment. None of them are canon. The little expressions thing where you draw your characters doing different expressions. Me in a box that says trash because that's what I am. Bad. Working on self-esteem. Working on it, slowly getting there. Sometimes I'll draw with quotes from friends. Not as often as quotes from like Pinterest or anything, but I'll still do them. Just trashing myself. This is the point where I decide to turn it into a normal Ishbook. Bunch of pen sketches. More Dottie. Random doodles. Doodles of random things in the house. This is my little sister on the couch. Yeah, pen sketches are actually really fun. If you have not tried doing them, I suggest to try them out. It helps build your confidence up with sketching. Not that I was confident here at this point in the Ishbook, but I was working on it and it helped. This was originally going to be the main character for the comic / story idea that I have that I'm currently working on, but that has since been kicked aside. There are actually 2 new main characters, and neither of them are her, but she still is an important character in it. Man, I'm sorry, Emmy. I remember when you were my favorite character to draw because you were going to be the main character. Rest in peace. This was just a challenge I found on Pinterest to draw, your character in different prompts. I actually like how this one turned out. For a little quick doodle, that was pretty good. So at this point, I was asked to draw a friend the way I imagined they would look like, because as you can imagine with online friends, you don't really know what most of their faces look like. So I did that. It's nowhere near close, so I mean, it was an attempt, but And then there's flowers. There was a while where I was really into drawing animal portraits, well, more like painting them. Flowers were the ones I drew more of, but I was really into painting animal portraits for a little bit. More in a sketchbook than an Ishbook, so. So funny story about this right side. Rest in peace, York. That's sad boy hours, but Carolina was actually going to be here, but I didn't like the way that I sketched her. So I just scribbled over and put a swan in her place. And then I started doing more animal doodles. And I tried to draw a spider, but I didn't do it well. And then big cats. Okay, so some backstory for this. Another thing about this Ishbook, a thing I tend to do when I have the time, and I have a lot of that now with quarantine. I've been having a lot of that, but I draw to convey my feelings, and I write my feelings out, because that's how I sort things out in my brain. I normally write things out in my journal, but with more time to doodle and stuff, I write with my doodles. So at this point, I had just shared a very important thing that had happened to me with a friend, and I'm kind of skittish when it comes to sharing things that have hurt me or things very important to me, because for me it feels like with my confessions, I'm bringing those feelings into reality. I'm acknowledging that they're really there, that these things really happened. And for me, that was the first time I shared that particular event with anyone but the first 2 that I ever told about, because they were my 2 closest friends. They are still my 2 closest friends in real life, but that was my first time sharing that event with someone since then. And I realized I had a really good friendship to feel it safe enough that I could share that. So to that particular friend, if you are watching this video right now, thank you. Anyway, continuing on, unfortunately, Songs of War, an animated show on YouTube, will not be getting animated for the remaining 2 seasons, but the creator did show the script for the last 2, and I read it with a friend, and I got really sad because pretty much my favorite character, you can guess from that little doodle, right? You can kind of guess what happened. Like I said, a little flower doodle. I think here's exactly where I start drawing Dottie as a silhouette rather than an actual animal. For anyone new, she's supposed to be a mix between a squirrel and an African wild dog. I redraw this picture, but I like this version of it more now that I think about it. And the original plan for this was going to be drawing all of my friends as dragons with their own particular hordes, but I never got around to doing that. More stuff, my favorite types of ships, which, as it says in the corner, putting myself on blast, because these are the kind of relationships I wouldn't mind having, you know. I'm such a dumbass. I'm so sorry. Here's one of those vent pages. This is a considerably tame one. More expression thingies. This was on Father's Day, maybe? No. I'm not actually sure. I remember posting the picture without the words, I think, on Father's Day. But the quote is why I drew it originally. But the flowers just looked nice, so I think that's why I did that. But yeah. This one definitely was for Father's Day, though. Pairing some quotes with some of my characters. Some of them don't match anymore because I've been rearranging things, which I have been doing with this particular idea since the freshman year of high school. This is more vent page. Feel free to pause and read if you for some reason want to. I have nothing to hide in my life anymore. And yes, my characters are loosely based off either one or multiple people. Good luck figuring out what though, because I seem to attract a lot of similar-minded people. Well, in the past, I think I would attract similar-minded people. Now, though, I've been finding that they're more different than I realized. Okay, so about me being skittish with things that I feel intensely about, I would never really let people get past surface me, and that means they would trust me with stuff, but like we never really get to learn that much about each other, so I felt more like they were all the same. So I never really even understood the concept of having a best friend, because how do you choose a favorite one if you keep them all at the same distance, if you feel the same strength of friendship with all of them? I never understood that until recently. So, you know, that's the thing. I keep rambling. I'm so easily distracted. That was a little obvious thank you drawing, because that's a thing. I wasn't very happy back then. Much happier now. But you know, I'm growing comfortable with myself. I'm growing comfortable with talking about things. Being honest with not only others, but myself, and not shying away from things. Wow, growth we stand. Is standing someone still a thing, or is it all simp now? Oh boy. I'm tired. Don't hold me accountable for at least half of the things that I say during this Ishbook tour. Or you can, but I don't know. I probably won't remember. And I don't like watching my videos back because I don't like listening to myself talk. Which I think is a pretty common thing. But I hope at least it sounds like I'm growing more comfortable with talking. That's a thing I'm hoping for. You know, if we ever get out of our houses again for more than quick grocery runs and mandatory things. Man, I hate this. If I could redo this again, oh my gosh. Oh, these two. I'm pretty proud of these two, actually. This was a request from a friend who wanted all the scars on their character. Big sad boy hours for that character. This was me trying to figure out my D&D character, but yes. Rune Factory 4 characters, and I'm hyped for Rune Factory 5 and Monster Hunter Rise and a lot of things, but that's life. You get excited for things. You find little things that make you happy, so you have a reason to hold on for another day. And at some point I tried to make a counterpart for my Vento C Astrid, and then I remembered that that's what Gogurt is. I just don't want to keep drawing a bunny wearing a hoodie vest all the time. But, I didn't want to draw this character all the time either. So I guess if I ever draw Astrid again, I'm going to just draw Gogurt with her as a comfort character. I feel pretty good about not having to need to draw Astrid in a while. I feel like that's an accomplishment considering how this year has been going. Oh no. Somewhat. I've drawn Astrid once. Not including what I drew for Inktober, but I've drawn her once. But, once over the past 3 months, that's pretty good, I feel. I tried to draw thumbnails of friends hanging out. Alu, the Ten of Swords. If you know tarot, then you probably know what that would mean in her character arc. But if not, then I guess you're gonna stay in the dark with everyone else. I did some screenshot redraws of Steven Universe and Little Witch Academia, and then I tried to draw myself as a little witch. Rune Factory 4. Oh no, I lied. Here's more Dottie as more than a silhouette. Renee looks so different now. Oh my gosh, my little baby beans. Jem looks more or less the same. He wears a hoodie now. And Dottie as a human. The monster drink as a Chad. Some short descriptions for Renee and Jem. They're not very accurate anymore, I don't think. Yeah, the quotes are pretty spot on though for them still, but the information is gonna need some tweaking. Oh my gosh, I forgot I gave them last names, and I know I give meanings to the names that I give my characters, or they're a nod to someone I've known, but I forgot I gave them last names. I have a little notebook for that now that I have more of the story pieced together, but I forgot I gave them last names. This is Waka from Okami, and this is Oki from Okami, which is a wonderful game. Has a lot of Japanese mythology in it and lore, and for some reason I just always draw Oki better than I draw Waka. And this is the thing that always happens whenever I try to draw them. Maybe because Oki is from a wolf tribe and wolves are my favorite animals, or just, I don't know, it's just a thing. Me trying to figure out the creatures in my comic. I had trouble deciding whether or not I wanted them to have actual creatures or mixed creatures or just mythical creatures entirely, and I think I came up with pretty good middle ground for them, maybe. Being so cryptic. I'm sorry. even considered dinosaurs for a little bit. Trying to brainstorm characters or what kind of shades I'd make for certain characters and what details about them I'd care about. Little thumbnails. More random doodles. This is just more of what Renee looks like. The hair is still different, but this is pretty much her outfit now. This is the redrawing of the "don't talk to me or my kids ever again" thing. It's with my actual friends, but I feel like I could have drawn them so much better, and there are some of them missing. So that's why I like the other one better. But these are my precious beans, my baby beans. Marceline. More Marceline. And this is where the first post-it is. Post-it? Post-it. Speech is hard. But if you've watched and listened through this whole train wreck without droning in frustration or being tired of my rambles, thank you so very, very much. I really appreciate you. Yeah, I will see you in the next Ishbook tour when I get through the second third of this Ishbook, because this is where the next post-it is at. And actually, I'm not very far from it, but this is where I'm at right now in Inktober. You get a little sneak peek at that. So thank you very much again for watching, and I'll see you later. Goodbye. Take care.